What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new camera comparison video. For today I have the iPhone 11 and the GoPro 7 Black, and I know this is kind of a strange comparison because with the iPhone 11 you can do way more than just take pictures and videos. You can write emails, you can edit videos, you can check your Instagram account, things that you cannot do with the GoPro 7 Black. Not to mention that the price on the iPhone 11 is about $700, where the price for the GoPro 7 Black is about $329, so twice the price. Now with the iPhone 11 we got an ultra-wide lens, and that's why I wanted to do this comparison, because now you can basically film with the iPhone 11 what you used to be able to film with the GoPro 7 Black. So I figured this is gonna be a fun thing to do. So throughout this video we're gonna find out which device has a better internal microphone, which device has better electronic image stabilization, of course which device has better video quality. So I think we should start by checking out the electronic image stabilization and the internal microphone. So I'll let you watch those clips and I'll be right back. Alright, so we are recording in 4K at 30 frames per second with the GoPro 7 Black and the iPhone 11 using the ultra-wide lenses on both devices. Well, the GoPro 7 only has one lens, with the iPhone 11 actually have two cameras. So for this test I'm using the ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 11. So I'm gonna turn right on this street right here. Oh, as you can probably see, I am on the bicycle, so hopefully I don't fall. So let's go a bit faster so you can hear how the wind sounds for both devices. So yeah, this is how recording the ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 11 looks and the GoPro 7 Black. Next we are moving on to a running test between the GoPro Hero 7 Black and the iPhone 11. For this recording I'm using the main lens on the iPhone 11. Alright, so let's go running and see which device has better electronic image stabilization. Alright, and we are moving on to our second recording, or the next recording. I'm not sure when I'm gonna place this video in the main video. Alright, so I'm doing 4K at 30 frames per second. I'm using the main lens on the iPhone 11 and the only lens on the GoPro Hero Black. I was crossing the street, so I had to look that way. So under these conditions with some wind and on the bicycle, this is how recording from these two devices would look like. Moving on to yet another video test between the GoPro 7 Black and the iPhone 11. So I'm currently recording in 4K at 30 frames per second, and I'm using the main lens on the iPhone 11. So not the ultra-wide lens, because as I said earlier, we have an ultra-wide lens with the iPhone 11 as well. So under these conditions, basically with sunshine and walking, this is how recording from these two devices would look like. Alright, so as you've seen for yourself, for electronic image stabilization, the GoPro 7 Black seems to be a bit better, but only when you are running. I've noticed the biggest difference when running. I didn't see that much of a difference when walking or when on the bike. But overall, the GoPro 7 Black has the better electronic image stabilization. Now for the microphone recordings, I feel that the iPhone 11 did better for every single one of those. It cancels the sounds around you better and it just sounds better overall. But that's just my opinion, and definitely let me know in the comments down below which one you prefer for the internal microphone. So next we're gonna see a couple more video clips that I've done with these two devices, so we can figure out which one has the better video quality, which one has better dynamic range, which one has better colors, etc. So let's check out those clips and I'll be right back. And we're also gonna do another test, but this time around I'm using the main lens on the iPhone 11. So you can see the difference how it looks with the ultra-wide lens and then with the main lens. Not to mention that with the sun hitting us that way, you can see which device does better for dynamic range. So yeah, this is how recording from these two devices looks like. Alright, and we are moving on to yet another video test, but for this video test I'm using the ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 11, so it should look somewhat close to what we are seeing on the GoPro 7 Black. So of course both devices are recording in 4K 30 frames per second, and with this occasion you can also hear which device records the sound better. Okay, and moving on to our next test. So I switched to the ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 11, so now it should be almost as wide as we get from the GoPro 7 Black. So I'm gonna spin around for a bit, and the other way. There is also some water, you're probably gonna hear some water and a bit of wind. So this is how recording looks if you're using the ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 11, and this is how it looks on the GoPro 7 Black. Alright, so for video quality, the iPhone 11 is using somewhat warmer colors, but at the same time the colors look closer to what I was seeing with my own eyes. If you check out the recordings from the GoPro 7 Black, you're gonna notice that the sky, so that blue color, is oversaturated. So the sky looks more natural, and the way I was actually seeing it with my own eyes for the recordings done by the iPhone 11. Not to mention that the iPhone 11 has better dynamic range in pretty much every situation. If you check out that 1080p footage at 240 frames per second, that slow motion file, you're also going to notice that the video looks way sharper on the iPhone 11 when compared to the GoPro 7 Black. So for video quality, the iPhone 11 seems to be the better one here. Next, we're going to move on and check out some nighttime recordings. So let's see those and I'll be right back. And we are moving on to some nighttime recordings between the iPhone 11 and the GoPro 7 Black. So once again, I'm recording in 4K 30 frames per second, and with the iPhone I'm using the regular lens, so not the ultra-wide lens, because the regular lens does better than the other one in low light conditions. So as you can probably see, I am walking, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm recording in 4K 30 frames per second. Moving on to our second video test, I'm gonna walk around here where it's a bit darker once again, so we can see how these two devices do in low light, because for low light phones and action cameras don't usually do that great. So I'm walking fairly slow, but from what I'm seeing on the screens here, the image is quite dark. So that was to be expected, but still better on the iPhone, I believe. So this is how recording in low light with the iPhone 11 and the GoPro 7 Black would look like. And we're moving on to our last video test in low light between the GoPro Hero 7 Black and the iPhone 11. So I'm gonna pan right. I'll keep going. Now I'm gonna go straight for a bit. Looking at the screens here, I can definitely see everything much better on the iPhone when compared to the GoPro 7 Black. So yeah, this is how recording from these two devices would look like. And as you've seen for yourself, the iPhone 11 does better for low light recordings as well. First of all, the videos don't have as much grain as we get from the GoPro 7 Black, and they do seem a bit brighter. Not crazy bright, and they don't look that spectacular, but overall better than the GoPro 7 Black. Moving on to pictures, well, I have to say that every single picture that I took with the iPhone 11 was better than the picture that I took with the GoPro 7 Black. And for most of those pictures, I actually used the ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 11. So yes, the iPhone 11 is also better for picture taking. So there you have it, the iPhone 11 seems to do better at pretty much everything except for image stabilization, where the GoPro 7 Black does better. Now, of course, keep in mind that an action camera can be taken in places where you cannot take a phone, because in some places there is a very good chance you're gonna break your phone, and you wouldn't break an action camera as easily. Not to mention that this is smaller, you can fit it in more places, etc, etc. So definitely not a fair comparison. But definitely let me know what you guys think about this one and this one. Which one did you like the most for those recordings that you've seen? Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.